G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, last week, independent Monique Ryan asked the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, a question in Parliament, and his answer was quite rude. He didn't answer the question, and he quite possibly misled Parliament. But I'll have more to say about that in a second. I'll show you the video first so you can watch Monique Ryan ask the Prime Minister a question.
Thank you, Speaker. Okay. My question is for the Prime Minister. I understand that you attended a $5,000 a head post-budget dinner last night. Can you tell the House whether any fossil fuel industry lobbyists or other fossil fuel industry representatives were in attendance?
That question is barely within the standing orders. I'll allow the Prime Minister to answer the question, but he'll obviously be able to answer only parts of the question that are relevant to the standing orders.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. I've stood and had the great honour of being the Australian Labor Party candidate in 10 elections. During those 10 elections as a candidate for Grainler, I have spent less money on those 10 campaigns than the member for Kooyong did in her one.
Order. Give a call. Give it. Order. No. Order. The member for Hasluck will resume her seat. Order. When the House comes to order, the member for Kooyong, just as any other member, is entitled to raise a point of order. The Prime Minister has concluded his answer, so it obviously can't be on the point of order on relevance, but I'll hear from the member for Kooyong.
Well, my issue, Mr Speaker, is that the Prime Minister has not in any way addressed the substance of my question.
Resume your seat. Order. Order. There was no point. Order. There was no point of order, and it's getting close to abuse of the standing orders, of abusing standing orders in that way.
Now, it's a legitimate question Monique Ryan asked the Prime Minister, because a lot of the public think politicians are on the payroll of big business, including the fossil fuel industry. So Monique Ryan's question was legitimate. I was waiting for the answer. The Prime Minister spun it back and attacked Monique Ryan, saying he'd spent as much in his 10 elections. He's been in Parliament 30-odd years. He's a career politician. So I don't think there was a good comeback from him, because he's just highlighting the fact that he is a career politician. But in his 10 elections, he's claiming he spent as much as she did in her one election. Well, let's have a look at that quickly. Monique Ryan is an independent. She was up against the Federal Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg. He apparently raised about $3 million. She's an independent, so she's not well known in the area. So she was going to have to raise a lot of money to compete. And she didn't spend as much as Josh Frydenberg, as far as I know. And Josh Frydenberg even had Peter Costello, the chairman of Channel 9, supporting him. He had the Murdoch press supporting him. So he had a lot of firepower, and she was going to have to raise a lot of money to try and win that seat, which she did do. Now, let's have a look at Anthony Albanese. 10 elections, he says he spent less money than her in her one election. Well, I don't know if that'd be true, and because if you look at the Labor Party, he's a member of the Labor Party, been around for years. They spend money statewide and also nationally at a federal election. So he's benefiting from those millions and millions of dollars spent by the Labor Party in New South Wales and also federally. So you have to equate some of that expenditure back to his electorate, because he's benefiting from all that spending by the Labor Party. So whereas he might only spend, say, $100,000 per election in his own electorate, he's really getting another $100,000, $200,000 of benefit from the millions and millions of dollars the Labor Party spend in New South Wales and also federally. So I'd like to see someone actually crunch the numbers and see what his true expenditure is for his own elections. But even so, he didn't answer the question. Now, I came across that video because someone on X published it, and I'll read you out what they said. It was published by Step and Fetch. Labor threw a party for its fossil fuel donors last night, celebrating a gas-led future. Seats sold for $5,000 each. The spokesman for Woodside, the PM, Anthony Albanese, was asked about this party. Here is his smug response, which is a video. Now, whistleblower Jeff Morris also tweeted, "I was staying at the hotel across the road. having come down to Canberra to support David McBride. The 330-odd seats did indeed cost $5,000 each. That's a cool $1.65 million straight into the Labor Party's coffers. That's a lot of influence purchased. So on budget night, where the politicians are working for us, they're having a function afterwards, selling seats for $5,000 each, 330 seats, $1.65 million, which is what Jeff Morris said. That goes into the Labor Party's coffers. So they're using our budget, which they're meant to be working on that night, to raise money for their own political party, $1.65 million from the fossil fuel industry, who get big subsidies from the government and pay bugger all tax. If you want to know why we're going through a cost of living crisis and a rental crisis, because the politicians on the payroll of the big business and the fossil fuel industry, giving them big grants, making them filthy rich. At the end of the day, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese came across as just being very smug and ignorant and arrogant, because his refusal to answer that question, he was basically refusing to answer the question for the Australian public, because I would have liked to know the answer. Anyhow, Kangaroo Court of Australia is independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. So please support my Patreon account or PayPal account, and please share this video on social media. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.